And sport has been all of my life from the age of 7. And it has been part of what I believe in, what I belong to, and what I still identify with. So I'm here to talk to you about broadening your outlook. Because the only time that we start to conflict in how we coexist, or how we are integrated, or how we are multiculturally allowed to coexist, is when we are looking too inward in ourselves and we are not looking beyond ourselves. I was born of parents of a migrating culture who came to Britain after the war. Conflict, intolerance had led to war. But I sometimes wonder if we are educated, and the note of education, not only in school but in life, is so critical. Because if we stop learning, we become ignorant. If we become ignorant, we become fearful. When we become fearful, then there are divisions. And the one thing I do believe sport does, in that it reflects society, is it can unite us and divide us. That is why it is so powerful. My childhood, by way of what I looked like, was by way of the age of 7, I was to realize that the colour of my skin would impact on what opportunity I would have for life. But how I was equipped to overcome it was realised by my relationship with not only sport, but the arts. Because I was a bit of a performer as well. When I talk about sport, that is what I mean. That is what I'm presenting to you. In its wholesome and inclusive experience of opportunity, of rights for all, irrespective of who you are, where you come from, what you look like. These are questions I ask everybody. They're questions that you will relate to, or you'll want to ask me questions about. Because sport is in a very interesting place. Because if it reflects society, then we now need to address the challenges and opportunities of a global society within your own national experiences and in your local everyday lives. Blood is shed, passions can run high. Sometimes, for a migrating culture, sport or the arts are the only things they can hold on to. The education, the health, the social and civil rights are being denied them. This is the world I live in. This is the world I'm always exposed to in the work that I now do. Images from 5 continents. Poverty. Inflation. He still aspires to come to Europe because he sees an African professional footballer earning a lot of money. He will come to Europe, he will have a trial and he will fail. If he fails, he's discarded onto the streets. The Olympic rings are always, for me, the framework. They are the guiding principle. They are the only 5 rings representing each of the 5 continents that brings us together. When you fail, it is only a very, very small few who will give you an honest and truthful answer. And then you fall into exactly the same traps as the young people you're supposed to be inspiring. But I can say now that winning isn't everything. I have my 5 gold medals. They're nice gold medals. They were my bling. But youth culture now wants another bling. They're not prepared to work hard. They don't have to. They live in a multimedia age. They text, they Google, they Facebook, and they change the world, as the Middle East has just proven. In Britain, she'd be considered potentially a terrorist. But she's already part of an Olympic shooting team that will be coming to London next year as part of the 2012 Olympic Games. Do you fear what you see, or have you taken the time to find out if it is your fear or your insecurity? The winning in life is too important to be competitive. The social and human development work has to be collaborative. 80% of global winners come from social and cultural backgrounds, such as the environment that you are here discussing. Why can't we turn those who don't into good citizens? But these are our 4 pillars. This is what makes it all worthwhile. It's not about medals. It's not about the winning. It has to be about the taking part. This is what we do. We pioneer, we prove, we campaign, and we establish. We're not here to be popular. If you're here to be popular, you're in the wrong business. I believe there are 3 things that we need to be mindful of. Something to do, somewhere to go, someone to show them. Migrants will always surprise you, because I always say, they have so much energy. They always have a little glow. And sometimes I think that's where the interchange and benefit can be. A community campus. What is a community campus? Any building that allows that philosophy to live and breathe. Sport, arts, culture. Agencies working together, making sure that nobody falls through the net. When I started the work, it was a 14-year-old schoolboy who was shot dead. That is how extreme the exclusion had become. I went back on the streets. We had a policy called Every Child Matters. If every child matters, then we cannot afford to lose anybody. A global community campus, using our Olympic Winners. And you'll see a network, the UN of now working with the IOC. Sport is the only business where you get the social and cultural motivation and the enthusiasm, because you're helping better people's lives. And I don't just talk about the migrants, I'm talking about all citizens. But I would equally say, sometimes we must give the migrating community a chance to develop the confidence to then be integrated. I'm always amazed that when I go to Africa, they've got nothing, but they've got the biggest smile, and they always make me laugh. Then I would go there 15 years ago to help the new South Africa build, and sport was critical. Without it, they wouldn't be making the progress they're making. Those are the faces. You can find a hero if you look for them. There'll be someone you can relate to, someone who represents an excuse that you think you have that you cannot have when you see who they are. There is someone there, a face in the crowd, because that's what you are, a face in any crowd. But what makes you special and someone else not special? His name was Benji Stanley. He would have been 32 on January the 2nd of this year. He lost his life because he wasn't included. He reminds me and he inspires me whenever I'm not sure why I'm here. Benji's tragedy has become an opportunity for so many young people. That is how what I call justify what I believe is unacceptable. But what you have is a golden opportunity. Your partnership must work. You have to work together. Because you're all about the same thing. You're about improving the citizens of Finland, irrespective of who they are and where they come from. That is your part as a global community. Sport is education, but it is the truest form of education. Because the truest form of education is character. And it is culture. Because it does so for those who least have the opportunity to feast on it. Let that be your food. Let that be your menu. Let that be your diversity. Let that be your inclusivity. Because I am as intolerant of the injustice of exclusion now as I was when I experienced it. Why? I have 3 teenagers. I just want them judged on their character rather than the colour of their skin. Are you comfortable with the skin you are in? If you are not, make a difference, because we all bleed red. Thanks a lot.